All right, in this lesson, we're going to be talking about deferred revenue. Now, we've already addressed deferred revenue in the adjustment section part of this course, but it is a liability. So we're going to go over it one more time to make sure you understand how we book deferred revenues, specifically from a liability standpoint, and then how do we reverse that entry when we fulfill the obligation to that deferred revenue. So let's get started by understanding deferred revenue once more. So deferred revenue occurs when a customer pays before the service or product is delivered to them. So this is a prepayment. It's like a deposit that you might put down. So we're receiving the revenue, we're receiving the cash prior to the revenue being booked. Now, when this occurs, the revenue has not been earned. Keyword here, we have not earned it, and therefore we will accept the cash, obviously, but we can't book the revenue until it is earned, aka a performance obligation has been satisfied. So remember, the definition of earning a revenue is that when we perform the performance obligation, then we can book the revenue. And so in this case, we're receiving the cash, but we can't book the revenue unless we have performed that performance obligation according to the contract, whatever that contract might be. So that's what we need to understand here. All right. So let's do an example to help us understand how would we book that deferred revenue. So assume company A received $12,000 in advance of providing services to their client. The entire service will cost $12,000. So this is not just a deposit. This is a full accrual or a full deferral of revenue. They're giving us all the revenue up front, but we can't book it because we haven't earned it yet. We haven't done the performance obligation. Company A has requested that the upfront payment, because of the complexity of the work, makes sense. Prepare the journal entry for the payment and then subsequently the recording of the revenue when the performance obligation has been completed. So in this case right here, we're going to book the journal entry to receive the $12,000 and also book the deferred revenue. And then in the next step, we're going to actually report the revenue and reduce our deferred revenue entry that we're going to make here. So let's talk about the receipt of the payment. So we are receiving cash. If we receive cash, we're going to debit cash. So we'll debit cash in the amount of $12,000. And then we are going to credit. What's our credit? Well, our credit was not going to be revenue since we haven't earned it. It's going to be deferred revenue. So we're going to credit deferred revenue. And again, in the amount of $12,000. So we're deferring the revenue. Remember that deferred revenue is a liability. It will show up on the liability section of our books. All right, moving on to the actual performance obligation being completed. So once it's completed, we're going to reverse out the deferred revenue. So to put that deferred revenue in our books, we credit it. To reverse it, we need to debit it. So we'll reverse that entry out. So we'll debit deferred revenue in the amount of $12,000 because we have completed that performance obligation. And then we are going to credit the actual revenue. So revenue, service revenue in the amount of $12,000. Now, the key thing here is that we are not crediting cash. So students make an error here in that they debit cash. So they'll debit cash for $12,000, credit service revenue, but we've already accepted the cash. We already dealt with the cash with our entry before this by debiting cash, crediting deferred revenue. In this, what we're doing here is we're making an adjustment to adjust our deferred revenue into revenue now that we have performed that performance obligation. So that is what we would do in a deferred revenue situation. So that is a review of the deferred revenue. Again, we talked a little bit about this in the adjusting section, but we're bringing it back here because it is a liability and we want to make sure that we understand how we would book that in our books when we get cash up front for services or sales that we haven't performed yet, and then what that entry would look like when we need to reverse the deferred revenue because we have performed that performance obligation. So hope you enjoyed this lesson, and we'll see you in the next video. Hey guys, if you like this video, make sure you press the like button below. And if you're looking for worksheets that go along with all of these lessons, head over to my website at patrickleemsa.com or clicking the link in the far right. And I've got your next lesson right over here. So just click that link and it'll take you to that video. So until then, we'll see you in the next lesson.